So here we go again then. It's Saturday night and I'm heading off down to the Haunault Forest Golf Club in Chigwell in Essex for a 40th birthday party tonight. And it's for 100 people, but I've decided I'm going to set up my full lighting rig because I need a few videos or at least photos on my website to show what my disco looks like. So they're going to get a little bit extra for their money tonight. The one thing I haven't done yet though, since I bought a whole load of new lights just after New Year, is see how everything fits into my Vauxhall Zafira with my bass bins. Because if I was to be booked for a party of over, say, 200 people, then I'd need the 4-speaker system with all the lights as well. And looking at how pretty full the car is at the moment, without the bass bins, but with everything else, it's pretty chock-a-block. So with the bass bins, I'm not sure. So I'll have to see about that when a big enough job comes in. But anyway, for tonight, it's a 40th birthday, Chigwell, and I'll take a few videos when I get there. Well, it's now 8:30. I managed to finish setting up about an hour ago, and everyone is starting to arrive now. I think we're about half full. We got about 50 people in. We're expecting 100 tonight. Hopefully it'll be a good night. But I'll show you a few of the lights that I bought after New Year. I think I've got a pretty good looking rig now, and see what you think. Equinox Fantastic 4. I've got 2 of those, and they are really nice at this time of night. You turn down the volume sensitivity and they just sweep nice and slowly up and down, left and right, and then later on when it all kicks off, I turn the sensitivity up and they move to the music, which is great, and they're DMX together, so the slave follows the master. These 2 are not coming out too well on this video. These are the QTX Plasma Laser. They send out a red and a green laser in a kind of spider's web that covers the whole room, and there's also a blue LED in there which makes the laser look like it's in a sort of blue cloud, which is really nice. And then just to cover the dance floor, in the middle is the American DJ Revo 4, which is very similar to the Impossible LED by Acme, which I thought about getting, and I was persuaded to get this one. And I'm quite happy with it. The coverage is not quite as big as I would have liked, but it certainly covers the dance floor. And everything else covers the room, so altogether, it's not too bad. There's the other Scantastic on the other end. And the lights are still on at the moment, but I'll take another video when the lights go off later, and you'll see how they all look in the room. But there's a bit of an image of the Scantastic sweeping around the room. You can't see the QTX lasers at all yet, but I'll show you then when it gets dark. Over here, there's a guy from Blackjack Events in Ipswich who set up a photo booth, which has got a green screen behind the seat, and you can select up to one of up to 6 backgrounds, which is fantastic. He's already let me have a go before everyone turned up, and it's really good. I'll show you some more later with the lights off. Well, 2 minutes after I made the last video, the bar staff did switch off the lights, so I can show you a little bit about how these Scantastic 4s sweep slowly around the room, which is great for early evening like this. You don't need them sound so light when it's just background for now. And if you see the green up there on the ceiling, and a little bit of red, if you can see that, that is the QTX laser. I've got an idea it's not going to get too dark in here because the lights are all on in the main bar next door, and I don't think they're going to be turning those off. But it should all still have a nice effect anyway. Right, now I know that these gig logs are probably only watched by other mobile DJs, so without trying to appear too nerdy, I'll show you what I've got behind the booth. Got a Cam 1500 mixer, which is great for karaoke, although there's no karaoke tonight, but there's 3 mic inputs and a basic echo feature, which is really all you need, I think. And for backup, in case the laptop manages to crash, I've got a CAM media player, so I can just plug in the USB memory stick, and I've got about 4 gigs worth of essential music on there, which will keep the rest of the night going, if anything went wrong with the laptop. I've got to stop talking about anything going wrong with the laptop because I don't want to tempt fate. I hope it doesn't. This is my background playout program. It's called Station Playlist, from a company in New Zealand, no less. I use this mainly for my online radio show, which I'm not doing at the moment. I've taken a few weeks off from that. But my main playout program for later on, once people start dancing, is Virtual DJ, which I'm sure a lot of people will recognise. And then over here is where all the sound is made. I'm just using a CAM 1000 watt amplifier at the moment. If I was running the bass bins tonight, then I would be running the 1500 watt amplifier as well, and the 1000 watt would serve the tops, the 1500 obviously would serve the bass. And then there's a Behringer crossover to make sure all the right frequencies are going to the right places. And then above that is just a basic switch panel, just so I can switch each individual light off and on. At the moment, switch 2 is for both of the lasers, and 3 and 4 are for the 2 Scantastics. Number 1 will be for the Revo 4 when I switch it on later on. Oh, Stevie Wonder, I do like this song. 40th birthday tonight, so she's asked for a lot of the classic oldies, late 70s, 80s, right up my street. Forgot to mention, by the way, the star cloth at the front is a Chauvet Motion something, I've forgotten, but if you look it up you'll easily find it. Not cheap, 280 quid, but it looks really good. Unfortunately, iPhone video doesn't really show off the colours all that well. There you go, there's a bit of red there, bit of yellow. I'll step back a bit. I'm still trying to figure out how to program it, because the instruction manual it came with didn't go into a lot of depth. But to be honest, I don't think most people noticed. Well, it's very nearly 9 o'clock, but people are still arriving for this party. It's still the sort of standing around, having a chat, having a drink kind of time. But they look like they have got the potential to be a pretty lively crowd. I think we might have a good night tonight. I've got to admit, I am pretty baffled by formal dress codes. There's a poster up here in the toilet at this golf club advertising a centenary dinner dance, and dress is lounge suit. I know what a tuxedo is and I know what a suit is. What the hell is a lounge suit? So I haven't told you about these yet. Got a pair of Equinox Flames. These are the 5-foot ones, not the 6-foot, because the 6-foot would have been licking the bottoms of my Equinox Scantastic 4s. But they look really good. And it fills the gap between the goalpost stand and the speakers. I've just noticed an added bonus to these Flames is that the powerful fan that blows the silk upwards into the air like that makes my booth nice and cool. It can get very, very hot doing this job, no matter what the weather, no matter what time of year, and it's really cooling the area down. Lovely.
So ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to Sharon's 40th birthday party tonight. Let's give the lady a cheer! Fantastic, that is just the start of the night that we were hoping for. Well, I hope everybody has managed to have a chance to have a bit of a chat and a drink, and now it's time to start getting the dance floor going. Make sure you get your requests into me tonight. Anything that's going to get you up and dancing between now and 12, come and let me know.
So 10 minutes into getting things going, and we've got a few people on the dance floor, which is a good start for the very first song. Second song. And I think we may be in for a good night tonight. Look at that, up and at 'em. Now we're rocking.
So thanks a lot for all the requests that you brought me in so far tonight. And we've got a dedication as well. This one for Lou.
Oh wow, look at this. There is no way that I can be playing in Essex and not play Ollie Moores. Essex's #1 son. Isn't it always the way? The party starts at 8, finishes at 12, and the busiest dance floor is from 11:45 onwards. I think every other mobile DJ in the country knows what I'm talking about. Well, I almost forgot to wrap up the gig log. I've been on the road for over half an hour. I'm on my way home now. It was a 40th birthday tonight and it was absolutely great. As you probably saw in some of the previous clips, we had an almost full dance floor for a lot of the night. There were a lot of people there who I'm told were family and friends of the lady who had the birthday, who hadn't seen each other in a very long time, so pretty understandable that people weren't dancing all night long and spent a lot of the night chatting, but I think we did pretty well. And they also hired a photo booth, which I think I mentioned earlier on. That was apparently 600 quid to hire for the night, which is a lot of money. And they also put £1,000 behind the bar. So it certainly cost them a bit, but I think it was well worth it from their point of view. The night certainly went well. And next weekend I'm doing a 30th birthday at a regular venue that I work at very often in Brentwood, again in Essex. Really I should move to Essex, I do so much work out that way. But I'm hoping that one's going to be good as well. Parties usually are there, and let's see how that goes. So I'll see you next weekend.